Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we are entering the fall season, which means gaming news out the wazoo. Lots and lots of stuff happening in the space of gaming. You know, this right here is a Nintendo channel. Basically, I talk a butt ton about Nintendo. There's some stuff going on with the Microsoft end too. Maybe I'll have that as a separate video if you want to see it. But let's go over some of the... not everything. Some of the bigger things happening in the space of Nintendo, with some small news sprinkled here and there. We'll start off with this right here. In Japan alone, Nintendo Switch has sold over 15 million units, and Animal Crossing New Horizons at 5.6 million units. Again, this is all just in the home country of Japan. Those numbers are kind of ridiculous. So, Famitsu has revealed that Nintendo has shifted 15 million, blah, 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 as of the month September 2020, which started a week and a half ago. Let's see, it just goes on, gives the exact number of the estimate. It's an estimate, but they have a very specific number of 15,073,025 units. And then, of course, Animal Crossing, 5.6. That means one of every three. I mean, it's a little higher than that. But one of every three people in Japan that have a Switch have Animal Crossing. That's kind of insane. That's a really high software attach rate. So anyways, yep, there's that. Switch is still selling, still doing great. But going on to the next article here. Nintendo planning 30 million units of Switch hardware for current fiscal year due to unsatisfied demand. So as we all know, the Switch has been super hot this year. It's been selling like crazy. Nintendo hasn't been able to, or just really hasn't kept up with demand. I think they weren't expecting it, and then of course with the pandemic going on, it kind of messed up with production of the hardware. So Nintendo plans on making a butt ton of Nintendo Switches before the year's over. See here, Nintendo has asked assembly partners to increase production of its Switch gaming console again, raising its goal to as much as 30 million units for this fiscal year, according to people familiar with its strategy. So, it's funny to see that in this year alone, they want 30 million Switches produced. And then you think back on the Wii U, and it only sold like 13. This is more than double of the Wii U sales that they want just this 1 year. Kind of crazy, but I mean, hey, the demand is there, so it makes sense. Alright, moving on. So now we're getting into the Super Mario 3D All-Stars segment here. So, according to Amazon, 3D All-Stars is already the second best-selling game of 2020. I will let that sink in. The second best-selling game of 2020 for a game that's not even out yet. Does not come out for another week. Comes out next Friday. This is dumb, but I mean, it is what it is. Nintendo basically came out the gate and said this is going to be a scarce product, like right off the get-go. If you don't get it now, you just ain't getting it. So, yes, here we go. I don't know if I really need to read the article. I think the title kind of says everything by itself. It's just pretty insane. Again, this isn't the second best-selling game of the year all around. It's just on Amazon. So, yeah. I think someone posted a picture in one of like the Facebook groups earlier, and it's already sold out on Amazon if you wanted to buy a physical copy. And that is, like I said, insane for a game that's not even out yet, not out for another week. So, don't worry. We'll get into that strategy here in a bit. But before we get there, so GameStop has this JoyCon covers when you buy Super Mario 3D All-Stars from them. I guess it's just free with your purchase. I don't know if it's a pre-order bonus. No, not a pre-order bonus, but it is short supply, so you'll have to get there real quick if you want these free JoyCon covers for Super Mario 3D All-Stars. It's nice. I don't really care for it, but I know some of you might might want to jump on this, so I thought I'd share the news. Anyways, moving on. So here we are. This is Nintendo's official website for Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Or not their official website for it, but you know, the section on Nintendo.com. They actually have a whole 3D Mario All-Stars website, which, yeah, I'm not going to click that link. So here we go. Lists the description, the game, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be 4.8 gigabytes coming September 18th, again, next Friday. Some interesting things, some interesting caveats here. If playing on Nintendo Switch Lite, detached JoyCon controllers are required and sold separately. And I'm guessing this is specifically for Super Mario Galaxy with the motion pointer controls. Although I heard it's going to have a handheld mode, right? So I heard that they might be doing like a touchscreen kind of replacement. Not really replacement, but in handheld mode, you'll be using the touchscreen for the cursor. I don't know how that's going to play out. Might be really weird. Galaxy might be tough in handheld mode, but we'll see. Or at least for like the Starbit stuff. Here we go. Now we're reaching the thing that I wanted to go over here. Again, Nintendo's official website. Super Mario 3D All-Stars will be available as a limited run retail and digital edition that is available for a limited time until the end of March 2021. Once the digital edition has been purchased on your Nintendo account, it can be re-downloaded and played if deleted from your device. So as long as you buy the digital edition, you're good. It's tied to your Nintendo account. You can re-download it, whatever. But see, this is what gets me, because when Nintendo initially announced and revealed all this information, when I covered it a week ago, I just thought the physical edition was going to be a limited run. I didn't think they're going to be taking down the digital version too. That is nuts. That is actually insane. Nintendo's allergic to money or something. Like, I don't get why you would have the digital version as a limited run. It's already going to be made. It's already going to be put on your server. Like, it's all the work is going to be there already. With physical editions, I mean, you don't want to keep the game in print if you know like the sales are going to like peak off and everything, so you don't want to keep printing the game physically. But digitally, like, all the work is going to be done already. There's literally no reason to pull it down from the eShop after it's uploaded. And the only thing I can think of is they're trying to get instant sales right out the gate. Like, hey, if you don't get it now, you're going to miss out, which explains why it's already the second best selling game according to Amazon. It's already sold out on Amazon because people are afraid of missing out. And for the physical edition, I am 100% certain a lot of that is scalpers, and I don't like how Nintendo does this and feeds into it and lets basically promotes scalping and emulation for the most part. Like, this is why people emulate games, because you can't go out and buy the physical games at a reasonable price. It just, yeah, this is why Nintendo, like, it gets me, right? Nintendo will go out of their way to take down ROM sites. They'll go out of their way to, go after all that stuff, but then they don't really replace it with anything. What we got? NES Classic, SNES Classic. We got the NES and SNES Online. It's like, what about the N64? What about the GameCube? What about all these other things? And even with the NES, SNES Online, and the NES and NES Classic systems, there's so many games missing. So this is very rude for Nintendo to be anti-ROMs, anti-emulation, and then give you very bare-bone things in return, and in a lot of cases give you nothing in return. So yeah, this is a problem that Nintendo has basically created, and then they offer no solution. This is nuts. This is actually insane. Personally, if I were handling a limited run of this game in particular, like, this is big. This is a huge thing. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I realize it's very lazy remasters. It's just like HD resolutions, right? I think some videos on YouTube have gone and shown like some texture reworks, nothing too dramatic though. But I mean, it's still an official way to get these 3 games, right? It's still... I lost my train of thought, like in the middle of talking. Feels bad, but yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. It's really dumb. All right, I was saying if I was handling it right. Sorry. So if I was handling this personally, I would have the physical print of the game available for a year, at least 1 year. That would make the most sense to me. And then I would keep the digital version up because, like I said, all the work is done. It's already there, and I feel like that'd be a much more fair way of handling the situation instead of saying this game is only available digitally and physically for 6 months, and then after that, that's it. Poof, you're gone. You miss out. Screw you. Like I said, you can mark my words on this. By this time next year, scalpers are going to be selling this for like $200. Oh, and if it's unopened, it'll be way more. So, yeah, I can't stand how Nintendo does stupid stuff like this, and then has the audacity to go after ROMs and all this other stuff and offer you nothing in return. Offer no official means to go out and like play those games again, except for stuff like this. So yeah, stuff like this, and it's only available for 6 months. Like Nintendo's very infuriating with some stuff, man. They really are. Okay, moving on to some smaller news here. So here we have a limited edition Fortnite themed Nintendo Switch coming out next month. Ew. So here you can see it. It's like Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite like that, so I don't recognize any of this stuff. There's the bus. I recognize that. Fortnite themed Nintendo Switch and dock, and I don't know. If you don't have a Switch and you wanted a Fortnite Switch for some reason, here you go. As you can see here, so it comes with all this stuff, blah blah blah. Fortnite's pre-installed, and then you get a download code giving access to the Wildcat outfit and 2 additional styles and blah blah blah, some stuff and V-Bucks. So it comes with some Fortnite things. Oh hey, here's the actual Switch itself. Oh yeah, I mean if Fortnite is really your thing, yeah, go for it. Okay, moving on to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition coming out on the Switch on September 24th. So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. I did not get to play a lot of PC games growing up, but I was allowed to play Roller Coaster Tycoon, and that game slaps. Like, I had a lot of fun playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. I remember Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 came out, and I was like super excited. I ended up getting that, and there was like one of the expansions that like one of the parks, there was no money, so you could go crazy. And I built a roller coaster, took up the entire park. It was phenomenal. And then my stepsister at the time ended up breaking the disc, and I was pissed. I was so pissed. But yeah, I don't know if I'll indulge this Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition. I mean, maybe it'll be fun to relive some of those childhood days, create a dope park. Yeah, man, just nothing will ever beat that roller coaster I made that took up the entire park. And it was insane because I would make the roller coaster as high as it would go, and then I'd raise the ground so it could go even higher, and then the drop, and then it was insane. No one liked it. I'm pretty sure it was a near-death experience for everyone in my park, but I enjoyed it so much. All right, that was just a random bit of news. And another random bit of news: RPG Maker Mark 5 or M5 MV. I don't know how you actually pronounce this, but RPG Maker is finally available. Finally available for Nintendo Switch. For those of you that don't know, this game was supposed to be, it got delayed at least 3 times. I think it might have been more than that. Like, this game was originally supposed to come out, I believe, in 2018, like 2 years ago. Kept getting delayed, and then it didn't even have a release date for a long time. And then kind of kind of out of the blue. I don't want to say out of the blue. I think they announced it a couple months ago with like this release date, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I said, it already been delayed like 2 years at this point, so I thought it was never coming out, but it's here. It is here. I downloaded the RPG Maker. There's like a player, so you can play the RPG stuff. I already downloaded that. I'm on the fence at the moment about purchasing the game for $50. You know, money's a little tight, whatever. But this is great. This is great, and I bet there's a lot of people out there that didn't even know this was on the Switch or coming to the Switch. Like I said, it's been delayed so many times, but it's finally here. So I thought I'd talk about that for a second. Okay. Again, I want to apologize. I'm going over all the small stuff, but this stuff is interesting to me. It's going to get swept under the rug, so I feel like I want to talk about it. Here we have Damon X Machina first year anniversary update. So I haven't played this in a while, but it was kind of fun. It was interesting. I'm kind of stuck at this one part. That's why I keep putting it down. I have to do this escort mission where I have to protect the train, and then there's all these dudes attacking it. So it's kind of frustrating me, and that's why I keep putting it down, like rage quitting. But yeah, I do enjoy this game. I do. And here we have an update, 1.4.0. It's a free update, and it comes with some new things here, new suits, new arsenal, decals, and preview backgrounds. So that's cool that they didn't completely forget about this game, because pretty much everyone did when it launched. It was instantly swept under the rug, and like I said, it's a good game, and I have fun with it. It's just some frustrating aspects for me, but I'll try to fire it back up and give it a go. On to bigger news. Here we have Nintendo announces Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity for Switch. I'm going to close my window. Hold on. I always forget to do that before I record. Anyways, yes, so Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So, I played the first Hyrule Warriors, and it was fun for a good bit, but it's just super, super repetitive. And then the amount of missions and content and DLC they added to the game was ginormous. It was insane. I cleared one of the DLC maps, but then they added another one. I was like, I can't do this. I really can't. It was a struggle. But yeah, me and one of my friends played through the main story, and like I said, that entire DLC map, and it was fun playing with someone. But oh my gosh, if I had to do this by myself, I would lose my mind. So I'll see if I can put a link in the description below so you guys can watch the trailer itself. But basically, Age of Calamity, this is the story that takes place 100 years before Breath of the Wild. So this is like the big battle, big war versus Ganon, and then the four heroes fall, and this is where Link enters his like 100-year slumber. So this is very interesting to me. Obviously, aesthetically, the game looks great. I'll have a chance to play as my waifu Urbosa, so I'm all about that. That's definitely what I'm going to do, and it'll be very interesting to see how the story plays out, knowing that at the end, you are going to lose to Ganon. And I think we should see more stuff like this, because obviously there's a lot of things that happen in between Zelda games, and they just kind of like briefly mention it here and there, and I think it's interesting to expand upon those particular moments. So this, I will end up copping this. When does it come out? It comes out in November something. Oof. Till November 20th. Okay, it's like right there. Yeah, November 20th. It'll be interesting. Like I said, Hyrule Warriors, it was fun, got very repetitive. Hopefully this one is a bit better, a bit more refined. Like I said, I did enjoy Hyrule Warriors. But God, your partner AI is so bad in that game. There's some missions where you have to hold several points on the map, and you're only one person. You can only be at one spot at one time. So like you'll save a point, and then you go to the next point, and like as soon as you save that one, you lost the other one because your partner AI just stands there looking stupid. So it's like, I feel like for those missions you need multiple people playing. But yeah, this could be very interesting, could be very fun. I'm going to get it simply for the storytelling aspect itself, and I could play as my waifu Urbosa, and that's all I need. That's all I need. And in addition to the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity announcement, we are getting a reprint of the 4 Champions Amiibo, which also comes out November 20th. And as you can see, bam, my main chick Urbosa right there, front and center, and yeah, the other 4 champions. So this is awesome. I missed out on the original print. I might get these, and it'll be interesting to see what the Amiibo do for the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, because I don't think they announced anything on the functionality of the Amiibo yet. And obviously if they're doing this, they have to have some functionality in the game, or at least I would hope. So there you go. Nintendo taking all my money like they usually do. And now, get into some big juicy news, my dudes. Big juicy news. Retro Studios has hired Dylan Jobe. They hired Dylan, right? They hired Dylan, who has worked on Doom and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, as the director of development. I guess there's not too much here in this article, but it just goes on to talk about his background a little bit. He has over 25 years of experience to his name, and he's been appointed the director role at Retro Studios. Obviously Metroid Prime 4 still exists somewhere in development, I would hope. So he's worked on Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, Doom, and Twisted Metal Black. And it says here his role within the studio is more focused on handling Metroid Prime's for schedule, product quality, and scope, according to the job description. But I'm hoping he has a little more influence than that. Like, those are all big things, obviously, but I'm hoping he has a little more influence, because Doom and Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, those are kind of like big names in the space of FPSs, first-person shooters. So I'm really hoping he brings some good direction to Metroid Prime 4. It's a long shot, but I really hope Metroid Prime 4 has online, because Prime Hunters had online, and that was fun until it got hacked. But I feel like Nintendo needs to start using its lesser used IPs, such as Metroid. Haven't had that in a while, and I think obviously if they can keep the Metroid Prime elements of the single player and then have a good multiplayer, this could be a ginormous franchise for Nintendo. I promise you, if this thing has like online multiplayer and it's good, like, that will revitalize the whole series. It'll bring it back into the main light, and it'll be one of Nintendo's big franchises again. And it could bring on a lot of new fans, and it would just be great, because in general, the Switch is really lacking in the first-person shooter department. So if Nintendo came out and made their own first-person shooter in a way, and it sold, then maybe that would incentivize other people to be like, hey, you can have these games on the Switch, and they can be good. They can be successful. So that's what I'm really hoping for here. Alright, now that's all the official news. We're entering the rumor territory. Rumor territory, you know how it is. Although lately, a lot of the rumors have been like pretty accurate, so I feel like they are worth talking about here. Rumor: Ninja Gaiden Sigma Trilogy listed for Nintendo Switch. And I don't think I really need to elaborate on this. Let's see here. It's been listed for Switch, PlayStation 4. The package includes Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, set to release in March 2021 for $40. No official announcement yet, but this would be awesome. I would definitely get this. When I did the Wii U experience in DC back on my old channel, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge was actually the most fun I had. It was my most anticipated game of the Wii U launch, and I did get it day one. I did end up beating it, with the caveat I cranked the difficulty down to the easiest setting. There was no shame in that for Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden is hard as hell, so I beat the game, easiest setting, but it's Ninja Gaiden. I'll give myself a pass on that, and I don't care if you do or not. You play that game, and you play it on like normal or hard difficulty, and you let me know how that goes for you. Yeah, maybe you're a better ninja than me. But no, it was great. It was fun. I had a lot of fun playing that. And then I remember playing like the original Ninja Gaiden like remake on the OG Xbox, and that game slapped me so hard. Yeah, I would love to see it. I would get it for sure. And then it's weird that it's listed for Switch and PlayStation 4, but not the Xbox, because that was kind of like an Xbox thing for a while. Again, on the original Xbox with like Ninja Gaiden 2. So that's weird that that's missing. I don't know if it is coming. It definitely should. It definitely should just come to all 3 systems. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, fun news. I'll be on that if it happens. And here's the juicy rumor. Nintendo telling developers to make their games 4K ready. So, the introduction of a more affordable Switch, blah, blah, blah. Not important. Bloomberg has reported several outside game developers, speaking anonymously as the issue is private, said that Nintendo has asked them to make their games 4K ready, suggesting a resolution upgrade is on its way. So, there's no way that this is for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lite. They're not just going to get this update and all of a sudden games are going to be 4K resolution, especially like Switch Lite, because the screens are already set to 720p. Not going to happen. So this is clearly for a new Switch. I don't know if this is going to be for a Switch 2 or maybe just a mid-gen upgrade, which I think would be the most likely scenario. It's just a mid-gen upgrade. I don't think Nintendo's going to create a whole new Switch with all the sales numbers that we've gone over, and it's only been out for like 3.5 years. It would be very, very dumb. Nintendo would be actually going the route of Sega if they released a Switch successor like this soon. But at the same time, you see Sony and Microsoft coming out with, PlayStation 5 and Xbox One, or Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. I hate Microsoft so much for these naming systems. But yeah, so you see the next gen systems coming out, you see what they're capable of. You know the Switch is going to fall further behind than it already is, because some games, a lot of games are being ported over to the Switch, but some of them struggle pretty hard. So you don't want to miss out on the third-party stuff that's going to be coming out in the future. So it makes sense. You need a hardware boost. Like, again, I don't know if it's a Switch 2 or just a mid-gen upgrade. I don't have anything up right now, but there's been rumors of like the next Nintendo Switch model that they come out with is going to be basically as powerful as a base PS4, which for a handheld would be phenomenal. And I'm sure developers would go out their way to, get their games on the Switch. They definitely should, because obviously sales numbers are there, software sales are really good. So yeah, I definitely think this rumor is true, because Nintendo can't just sit on the current Switch as it is and expect it to still get games after the PS5 and Xbox Series X launch. It's not going to happen. It is. Maybe some people will really go out their way and try to make it work, but you're basically developing 2 different games at that point. So this makes a lot of sense. Again, is it a successor, a mid-gen upgrade? Who knows? Mid-gen upgrade would be the smartest route to go. It would just be the smartest route to go. You don't want to alienate anyone, for sure, especially people that have currently bought a Switch or planning on buying a Switch, especially this holiday season. Yeah, it's definitely too soon for like a brand new, like a Switch 2 or whatever. But if they came out, I don't know, they're going to probably call it something dumb, like it's a new Nintendo Switch. Yeah. that would make sense. But anyways, here we are. We've reached the end of everything I wanted to cover. And yeah, it was a lot, but I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Take it easy and have a good one.